Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of go through the rest of it very quickly now. On Blackboard there's a bunch of videos about this chapter that I made, so you can go through that or you can just read the text. But okay, let's just go through this very quickly. Adding text, customize axes and legends. So there are ways to do that. So one important thing is here we have the graph, and notice here that it starts at 0 and here it starts at 0 or close to 0 and close to 0. Now if you just do it, well, so how was that achieved? They do this. X limit is from 0 to 60 and Y limit is from 0. So if you don't do that, let's quickly look at that. If you don't do that, you get this graph. So they only go down as far as they have to. So they don't go all the way down to 0 because there's not a data point down at 0. So the first data point is here, so they don't go all the way down to 0. So, but usually when you draw a graph, you'd like to see where 0 is. So in that case, you can add in these arguments here. X limits from it's a vector from 0 to 60. Y limits is a vector from 0 to 70. And then if you run that, you get that, which I guess looks a little strange, but at least you can see where the 0 is. Next thing is titles. And here's an example of putting in two graphs, one on top of each another. So you can check my videos for that. Reference line, so we've used this already, and we've seen that you can draw a horizontal line here, and this might even be a vector, in which case you'll get many horizontal lines. And you can do vertical lines the same way. Actually, we didn't do that, but vertical lines the same way, and this might be a vector, and then you could have many vertical lines. So let's see if they have a picture of something like that. Maybe not, but you can try that. Or here's a horizontal line, and this is probably drawn at the mean for one of these. And then here I guess we see a legend here. The legend here, a character vector with the labels. You can figure out how to use that. Text annotation. So here you can use this function here, and so we have, if you look at this, row names, you can see row names are these in the data set, and we can use these as labels for each of the points by using the text function. So when we do that, we get like that. So you get these labels here. So I'll let you go through the videos or through the book, and we do have homework that you're supposed to answer about this chapter. And what else do we have here? Combining graphs. So here, if you want to show 4 graphs in one space, like this, so you want to be able to compare these graphs, for example, you can set a parameter called mfrow and set it to 2 by 2, and that will allow you to have 2 graphs in each of 2 columns, or 2 graphs in each of 2 rows. So then, let's see, they do that, and then they have a plot for the first graph, and then they plot a second graph, and then they plot a third graph, and then they plot a fourth graph, and they all appear. Let's just do it. So far I've done this, and now I'll do the last statement here, the histogram. I get one more, and I do one more, I get this one, and then I set the options back and detach the data set. So now what would happen if I ran, well, let's try that again. What would happen? Okay, now I've got 3 of them, and now I have the 4th one, and what if I try to add one more? So what happens if I try to add this one? So it goes to a new screen and there's only 1 there. Okay? So we have to be careful about that, because probably that's not what you meant to do. And here's something else you can do. So you use this layout function, and you set the first entry as a matrix, which is 1, 1, 2, 3. So I guess that means that the first here and here are for the first histogram. I guess this is like the spaces. This space and this space are used for the first histogram. This is the third space is used for the second histogram, and this one for the third. And this is it. And then you set this as 2 by 2. So you have to play with this or look it up to see all the details about this. But and we plot 3 histograms here. First one looks like this, and the other 2 are smaller like that. And then you can, I guess, also adjust the weights and heights so that you can actually do something like this, maybe. So have this much smaller than the other one. So you can take a look at these, try and figure out how to do that. And then you can even achieve effects like this, even like that, and that's it. Okay, let's you can go through that and answer the questions for homework, and we're going to go on to this chapter.